Doesn't matter if your actual ship is caught in the ice and the rescue ship is caught in the ice and that the same field was clear of ice 100 years ago. It doesn't matter if the hockey stick findings cut off at a particular type to give us a particular impression. It doesn't matter if people are hiding the decline. I mean, National Review is still being sued by Michael Mann over all this. None of that matters because it's become a faith. And I'm writing a piece. I haven't finished it yet. It's probably go up later today or tomorrow. It's called The Millerites of Antarctica. And for those of you who don't know, the Millerites were a sect in the 1840s. And this guy Miller predicted the end of the world in a 1-year period. And people were selling all they owned. They were waiting for the second coming of Christ, and he didn't come. And he said, I've made a mistake. It's actually in October. And then when October came, it was actually called the Great Disappointment, believe it or not. And they ended up becoming the Seventh-day Adventists, and the Jehovah's Witnesses broke off from there too. But that still existed, but people made fun of it. In fact, we have another clip. We have that clip from the Secret Policeman's Other Ball. Do we have that? Do we have that clip? It's another comedy skit that I want to play because it's a lot like that first one where you have the apocalyptic people. If these Millerites from 150 years ago had the mainstream media behind them, the mainstream media would be saying that they're deniers. Anyone who denies that the Earth is ending, they're just deniers. They're just deniers. Let's play that clip from this. This is from the Secret Policeman's Other Ball. Let's start near the end about if we can do that. Can we do that? You'll need a few seconds. So let me set this up for you. This was a skit from the show. Peter Cook is the head of this cult. And there's a bunch of people, Eric Idle, Rowan Atkinson, some great names.
Mr. Bean.
Mr. Bean, Blackadder, some great names. And they're all at the top of this hill waiting for the end of the world. And you should pick it up about a minute to go. Go ahead and stop playing.
Have you brought the picnic basket? 5, 4...
He's counting down to the end of the world now.
2, 1. Now is the end. Perish the world. It was GMT, wasn't it? Well, it's not quite the conflagration we've been banking on. Never mind, lads. Same time tomorrow. We must get a winner one day.
And that's really what the global warming industry is all about. You'll notice that the predictions always seem to be 10 years or 20 years or 100 years in the future of when catastrophe is going to come. Catastrophe will never come soon enough to prove you wrong so that the money isn't spent.
I was just going to say.
Or the money isn't diverted.
It's all about building that organization. And
we have to get the tax breaks for these green companies, which happen to be friends of the people in Congress. We have to replace the light bulbs, and suddenly the profit margins for the companies making them are there. We have to do these things. And have you noticed that whenever they have these conventions, these conferences on global warming, I mean, they don't have video conferences so that nobody uses up any carbon. They go to these swanky cities with great food, great wine, and tons of prostitutes. And they spend on taxpayer dollars, stretch limos, and it's a grand
SUV
old
vehicles, jets flying in on planes. Some of them on their own planes. So what's that carbon?
It's a grand old time for the people who are beating their breasts. And I've got to say, and I'm going to steal a line from Glenn Reynolds here, that I will believe in global warming and believe it's a crisis when the people who push it the hardest act as if it's a crisis. When they stop using private planes, when they start video conferencing instead of having these large conventions, and when they stop asking for taxpayer money to make these things happen. That's when I will stop believing it. Until that happens, until I see these things happen, I ain't going to buy it. I'm just not going to play the sucker. But that's why they hate this story so much. It's because it's very hard to pretend that things aren't happening the way they're saying. And some guys like Tim Blair, he is just having a field day. Like here's the headline from his post: Global warming activists still trapped by inconvenient ice. And it is just so funny. I'm sorry. I can't help but laugh at these people. I just can't help but laugh at these people. But as they say at another spot, something's cracking and it's not ice around the warmest ship. And remember, it's summer down there. This is summer.